Everyone say it with me. Dana White fight announcements never miss. Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira, confirmed. Alexandre Pantoja versus Kara France, confirmed. Dricus Du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev, confirmed. Islam Makhachev moving up to welterweight, vacating his lightweight title, taking on Jack Della Maddalena. Well, no date or location, but confirmed. That's right. All of that just got announced by Dana White and then some. We knew going into UFC 315 there were massive implications, obviously, for the welterweight division, for Belal Muhammad, for Jack Della Maddalena, but we also knew there were implications for Islam Makhachev, for Ilia Topuria, for Charles Oliveira, and for the lightweight title picture. And now in the aftermath, with Jack Della Maddalena dethroning Belal Muhammad, we have all of the answers. Islam Makhachev will officially be vacating his lightweight title to move up to 170 pounds, and he will challenge Jack Della Maddalena. There's just no date, event, or location confirmed yet, but Dana White said stay tuned. Jack's already agreed. They just need to dot the I's and cross the T's. But we do know for sure the date, time, event, location, venue, and then some for Ilia Topuria making his lightweight re-debut. Don't forget the fight against Jai Herbert a few years ago, and he will be facing former lightweight champion Charles Oliveira for the vacated lightweight title in the main event of International Fight Week UFC 317, Las Vegas, Nevada, T-Mobile Arena. Ilia Topuria obviously dethroned Alexander Volkanovski and defended his title against Max Holloway, both of those victories coming by way of knockout. He didn't want to cut the weight anymore. He didn't need any more of that wine to help him cut weight to 145. Now he's coming up to 155 and immediately is thrust into a championship fight against the ultra-dangerous Charles Oliveira, coming off of a victory at UFC 309 against Michael Chandler, now looking to reclaim his lightweight throne. The co-main event will feature Alexandre Pantoja taking on Kara France in a rematch many years in the making. That's right, these two fought way back on July 26th of 2016 on The Ultimate Fighter, where Pantoja did get a unanimous decision victory, but that's technically an exhibition bout. Now they run it back for the record and for the title. This will be Alexandre Pantoja's attempt at defending his flyweight gold for the fourth time after dethroning Brandon Royval just a couple of years ago. He has since defended it against Brandon Royval, Steve Erceg, and Kai Asakura. Now time to defend against another guy named Kara France. Kara France actually enters this fight having lost 2 of his last 3 bouts. However, his most recent fight was in August of last year at UFC 305, where he knocked out the former title challenger Steve Erceg, and being that it's a fresh matchup in terms of actual professional records, this was the next man up for the flyweight title. Banger of a co-main event, sure to not be boring. As for the rest of International Fight Week and the UFC 317 card, we will also see Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov, Beneil Dariush versus Renato Moicano, Brandon Royval versus Manel Kape, and Viviane Araújo versus Tracy Cortez. A loaded card from top to bottom, and there's still just 9 confirmed bouts. There's still room for a couple more. And next announced by Dana White was the huge UFC 319 news, as the UFC will finally, after years and years of rumors and discussions, will be heading back to Chicago, Illinois. In Chicago, you've got a hell of a main event. It will be for the middleweight championship, as Dricus Du Plessis will look to defend his title once more, this time against the undefeated phenom Khamzat Chimaev. Du Plessis won the title from Sean Strickland last January, defended it against Israel Adesanya, finished him, mind you, and then had the rematch with Sean Strickland just a couple of months ago in February and got the decision there. Much more convincing this go-around than the first time. And for the 14-0 Khamzat Chimaev, he's coming off of starching the former champion Robert Whittaker at UFC 308 last October. He also defeated Kamaru Usman in the middleweight division as well. Obviously not a middleweight champion, but the former welterweight great. Pair that with all of the other names on his resume, all of the other victories, the finishing prowess, the hype, the stardom, the momentum. He was obviously the next man up for the middleweight championship. Him versus Dricus Du Plessis, that fight has chaos written all over it. I know this was a pretty quick video, a quick hitter if you will, but I wanted to get out this breaking news to you all and open up the floor to get your thoughts on these fight announcements down in the comments below. What do you make of Islam Makhachev officially vacating his lightweight title to move up to 170 pounds to take on the newly crowned Jack Della Maddalena after dethroning Bilal Muhammad this past weekend? What are your predictions for Ilia Topuria versus Charles Du Oliveira for the now vacated lightweight gold? Will Topuria become a two-weight world champion, or will Charles Oliveira become a two-time champion? Pantoja versus France. We knew that was the fight that the UFC was going to make. It was just a matter of when, and now we have the date. Will Alexandre Pantoja reign supreme once more and further solidify himself as the second greatest flyweight of all time behind Demetrius Johnson, or will France shock the world, get revenge 9 years in the making, and become the new flyweight king? And lastly, for Chicago, especially if you're from Chicago watching this, I want to hear your thoughts and your excitement levels for the main event of UFC 319, August 16th. Dricus Du Plessis, can he defend for a third time, or will the undefeated hype train of Khamzat Chimaev finally come to fruition fully and have him put gold around his waist? If you enjoyed my thoughts and this news, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. We are currently on the mission to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025, and any and all support would be greatly appreciated. I also break down and discuss the biggest fights heading into each weekend, X's and O's, but more specifically, all of the best storylines and what is at stake for the biggest fights, and I recap the most meaningful results from each card as well. You can join the community on social media at Verbal Spar MMA on X, Instagram, and TikTok, and you can follow on your favorite podcast platforms such as Spotify and Apple, as every Monday and Friday episodes release there. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next one.